And here we are, Super Bowl. Fucking can't do the numbers every time, and I always forget what it is. But the Chiefs have won the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. And your boy was on the right side of history this time. I don't love it, but that's just the facts of the matter. And you know what? It was an all-time classic game, and we are going to get right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. No time at all. I am going to put a clip in at the beginning here. Probably a little intro. And just to kind of give you a sense of how wonderful that finish was for me. But we are going to get right into it. And it was an unbelievable game. It was an unbelievable game. Super Bowl. I should just look it up, dude. Super Bowl LVII. What is that? 58? I think it was 58. Sounds about right. That's weird. It's a high-ass number. Anyway, Kansas City Chiefs 25. San Francisco 49ers 22 in overtime. And you couldn't have wrote a better script. For all those people out there saying the NFL is rigged, there's an NFL script writer. You know what? Good job. He did a great job. It was a phenomenal game. I don't care if that was written by a script, other than the fact that the Chiefs won, but I was on the right side of it. So I can't even complain. I had some incentive on the Chiefs winning that game. So you know what? I can't really complain about it. It was a great script. First half of this game starts out as a clunker, an absolute clunker, not for a ball guy like myself. For the ball guys, it was a do you like ball, do you know ball type of first half. It was gritty, it was hard-nosed, running the football, lots of mistakes, 2 fumbles in the first quarter, I believe. Maybe it was the start of the second quarter, but right away, you got McCaffrey as the 49ers looked unstoppable on the first drive. They go right down the field, fumble, give it back to the Chiefs, who looked terrible in the first half as well. And they go back down. They get the big play to Hardman. I don't know if that was later on. I feel like it was the next drive, but I don't know. You know how Super Bowl can be. There's a lot going on, and I get the timeline a little bit mixed up. But they get the big play down to Hardman, and Pacheco fumbles going in. I think, you know what, now that I go back, that's after the touchdown. But just from the outset, immediately as this game went, and I've seen a lot of the reaction online, but for me personally, I felt like I was fucked from the beginning. The 49ers defense was flying around. They were swarming to the football. Fred Warner was everywhere. There was a moment in the beginning of this game where you could have made an argument that Tariq Armstead would have been the goddamn MVP of the Super Bowl. I just want to make sure I got that name right. Eric Armstead. I'm so sorry, Eric. I know you will see this, so I know you're already super mad about it, but I'm going to throw that apology out, in the Spaceballs chance that you actually did, because I'm not trying to be a bitch. You know what I mean? I just got your name fucked up. My bad. But anyway, Eric Armstead was a monster. Chase Young had a sack. The defense was doing everything that you could have possibly wanted. The Chiefs looked like they couldn't get a thing going. They were having a hard time running the football, and they did really for a lot of the game, but especially in the first half, they couldn't run the football. The Niners just looked like the better team for about 3/4 of this football game. And if you're a 49ers fan, that's killing you. It's absolutely killing you. And I want to start by talking about them because, the narrative coming in was Brock Purdy. Could he do it? Is he a game manager or whatever? I'm so tired of this freaking narrative. It's the dumbest argument ever. It's just something to fill time. Everyone with a pulse and a brain knows this. But the guy is good at football. He was just drafted low. So for whatever reason, the people like to cover their ass when they're wrong, even though being in the media is essentially about saying things that end up being wrong 90% of the time anyway. So I don't understand the obsession with trying to cover yourself when you say something that's incorrect. Why not just say you were fucking wrong? I do it literally every day. It's fine. Who cares? Wrong all the time, baby. Let's get better next time. Guess what? Not everything you say in a prediction setting is going to be 100% true all the fucking time. But regardless, the guy is good at football. And he played a near impeccable first half. There was a couple plays where if the 49ers would have won this game, there was about 5 or 6 plays that Brock Purdy made with his legs to extend in the pocket. You know, in the overtime drive, not to get ahead of ourselves, but in overtime, you know, he made that great play to escape and find Juszczyk for the Dez caught it ball. There was an argument you could make for him being maybe MVP if they had scored a touchdown on a touchdown pass at the end of that game. But he was very, very good. Very good. They were killing the Chiefs with those little kind of intermediate passes. Ayuk got hit. I feel like every time Ayuk got a ball, it was on a 12-yard in-breaker that they kind of just sat right in front of the defense at that middle zone. They were running the ball not as well as they had all year, but if you look at the stats, by the end of the game, McCaffrey still had 80 yards on the ground on 22 carries, but still 80 yards on the ground is more than effective. He had 80 yards in the pass game as well. But as this game was going on, to me, this was the only game where it was like, this is final. This may be it for the Chiefs. They might actually lose this game. And if you go back, they throw the double pass or the backwards pass. The Juwan Jennings throws a pass to Christian McCaffrey. He takes it in for the touchdown. I have never seen a single pass take longer to go from one side of the field to the other. It was in the air for what felt like a minute and a half. And McCaffrey gets it. It's the slowest fake ever. They go all the way back across the field. He makes a great play, goes in the end zone, 10-3, just like, or 10-0, I guess, maybe at that point. Great journalism here, the fact that I'm just amazing on the Gamecast. But anyway, that's no excuse. They played a great game. They played a great game, and they had a good game plan pretty much the entire way until overtime, but we will get there. First half, God, dude, it's been a while. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm a fucking A-plus podcaster at this point? Regardless, Jesus Lord. Second half of the game, I'm not even going to waste more time than that because there wasn't a lot to go off of in the first half. But as the second half rolled on, the game started to be an instant classic. But not at first. Like I said, they come out, Mahomes throws a pick to start the second half, and I'm shaking in my boots. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm the sucker. I did bet him. I kept betting him. Kept taking him. I don't know how, if you're, looking back on it, of course, how do you not take him as a dog in the Super Bowl? I wasn't going to be that guy. I wasn't going to be the guy that passed that opportunity up. So I'm sitting there thinking this might be after taking him 3 games in a row, I may have been screwed. I may not be able to have this go my way one more time. They throw the pick. It was a bad ball, too. I think it was Kelsey underneath it who's wide open, and he just misses him. He steps up in the pocket, kind of throws it over his head, and they get that pick. But the Niners they don't score until late. The Moody extra point that got blocked did not win this game for the Chiefs by any means, but without it, they do not win this football game. And I'm not hearing it be talked about enough. I don't know if it was a bad snap, but it was a low kick for sure. The big boy in the middle got his big paw up there, blocked it, and the man, just woof, it's like a humpback whale. I love a punt or a field goal block like that. It's like a humpback whale just going woof, reaching. And there's no way you can pass that big flap, It's not going anywhere. The ball is just going to hit it, bounce off, and you move on for another day. So that kept it a 3-point ball game for him. And it eventually ended up being massive. The fumbled punt. Up until, so I mentioned that, about 3/4 of this game, I just felt absolutely screwed. Nothing was going right for them until the punt goes off a guy's leg. Mecole Hardman doesn't dive on it. Chiefs get the ball. They score the next play right away. MVS. Check it. Check it off. Count it. Big night for the boy. And at that moment, everyone knew the inevitable. At that moment, everyone finally knew the inevitable, and they started to roll. But the 49ers defense fought. I mean, they got the sack at the end of the game to force the field goal, and it goes into overtime. Guys, I was very, very nervous. Everyone watches the Super Bowl because it's a national event at this point, and I love a Super Bowl party. I like being with friends, being with family, eating food. Had a good time. But there are certain moments when you have a large financial investment on the outcome of the game that you don't need anybody talking in your ear about relationships, birthdays, cycles. That's not what I meant to say. Might have to cut that. Anyway, not cycles. I meant like astrology. You don't need someone talking about, how's school going? You're not thinking about that right now. All you're doing is trying to lock in on the events that are unfolding in front of you because you're dying. You're living your life on the line. Someone's thrown a grenade out, and you're running to jump on top of it to try to save your soul. And everyone else is whoop, 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 talking. There's conversations here, conversations there. Sorry, everyone. I hope your ears are okay. There's conversations there. You don't know what's going on. You're trying to focus on Tony Romo going, oh, God. Oh, there it is. Whoa, Jim. Oh, Travis. Oh, God. Kelsey. Only Mahomes. You got to fight through that. That shit sucks enough. You don't need all the other distractions going on. But nonetheless, I'm sitting in one corner. I was next to my girlfriend. I get it. Fucking this guy Fox, we get it. Anyway, next to my girlfriend, nothing good is going on. And bless her heart, I told her I put a wager on this game. I get yelled at for a $5 parlay, and I did a little bit bigger of a little play for this game, let me just say. And because it was on the Chiefs and Travis Kelsey, it was absolutely okay. But bless her heart, she was not helping me. The luck was not with me when I was on that side of the room. Had to get to the other side of the room. Still love you. But I had to get to the other side of the room. I'm sitting in a corner. We call it the psych ward. There's a high top table, and you got to check in sometimes. So I checked into the psych ward. Good things starting to happen. There's the fumble, like I said earlier, 10-6. They have a lead, MVS. Now we got the ball rolling, and now we get to overtime, and we're fighting. And Kyle Shanahan has proven time and time again that while he's a great coach, he cannot win the big game. He can't do it. He won't do it. He probably won't do it ever. It started with 28-3. Jimmy G, that comeback game they lost up 10. They just lost up 10 again. And with the new overtime rules where the opponent is the one that caused the rule change, you don't understand in the biggest game of your life with more than a chance to win the game that you are going to get the ball no matter what happens. The team on the other side is the one who changed the rules. I don't understand how not a single person on that team went up to Shanahan and went, look, dude, the game is not over regardless of how many points we score right here. The game's not over. And you talk to, I believe they came out and said afterwards that Andy already said they were going to go for 2 if the 49ers had scored first, that the Chiefs would have gone for 2 to win the game. So the Chiefs were prepared. The 49ers were not. Andy Reid does it again. A couple phenomenal calls that caused the win in this game. Number 1, the 4th and 1, they do the read option after Pacheco gets stopped on the 3rd and short again. They did it all game. He got stuffed out of shotgun in that play. I don't know why they run it, but on 4th down, they do the read option. Mahomes scampers out to the right side and gets about 10. They hit it one more time earlier as they were on the, in the 4th quarter. They hit Mahomes on it for about 20 plus, and they didn't bring it back out, as far as I remember, until that play on the 4th and 1. They get it with ease. They get Kelsey down the left sideline for a big play. They hit him again. He almost gets in. And, of course, who else? Mecole Hardman, the Jet. Shout out to the Jets. Shout out to the Jets. Shout out to my girlfriend. Big Jets fan. Gave Mecole Hardman back to the Chiefs so they could win the Super Bowl. So shout out her. Shout out the Jets. And that they even got the I just would feel so sick to my stomach if I was a 49ers fan. They even got the holding call to bail them out. They didn't get the 3rd down on the first time. They get the holding call. I was thinking about D Ford. My heart was sinking. I was dying. And they only get 3. And you can't do that with Mahomes. Mahomes he's unthinkable. 3 Super Bowls in 6 years, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2-time NFL MVP for the regular season, 3-time All-Pro, 6 Pro Bowls, meaning every year he's been a starter, he's been a Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL touchdown passing leader, and now he has the NFL record of 5,600 total yards in a season. I mean, the guy is unbelievable, and you know what? As a fan of an AFC team, go Steelers. It's hard to have hope right now because the guy is going to be there every single year. He has to.